This is the Philips 2000 series air fryer designed to make healthy cooking easy and fast. In this video I'll show you how to set it up, test its features and its cooking performance. This Philips air fryer was too good a deal to pass up on Amazon during Black Friday deals. The model I have, I believe, is the NA220-221. Let's start with the design. My first impression? It's compact and lightweight, making it easy to move and store. At the back there's a handy cord holder to neatly wrap the power cord, perfect for keeping your countertop tidy. It has a 4.4 quarter or 4.2 litre basket, perfect for 2 to 3 servings. When you remove the crisper tray, the basket has this swirly design, which is different from the standard flat designs I normally see on air fryers. So this makes things a little interesting. The basket also has foods for maximum food quantity that should be placed in the basket. The crisper tray has 4 silicone tabs on the corners. You need to keep these on, otherwise the tray will scratch the basket. At first I found it a little difficult to insert the crisper tray, and I found it was easier to lay it down sideways at an angle then straighten it up. But after using it a few times, it has started to become easier inserting it. Taking a look at the heating element area, since this air fryer has a flat top design, I prefer to flip it over to wipe the heating element. I would say this step is a must when you get a new air fryer, as it will help get rid of any residue and smell that new air fryers give during the first few uses. I also like to do this when I'm giving my air fryer a deep clean. I have a video showing how to clean the heating element, and I will leave a link in the description box if you guys would like to watch it. I also like to wipe down the exterior of the air fryer and be sure to wash out the basket and crisper tray before using them. Plugging in the air fryer will light up the display panel for a split second, so you will have to press the power button to turn on the touchscreen panel. There is an on-off light to use with the viewing window, a keep warm button which is set for 30 minutes and you can't adjust it. Press the temperature button and use the arrows to increase or decrease. The lowest temperature is 140 degrees Fahrenheit and the highest is 400 degrees Fahrenheit. There is a time button. Again, use the arrows to set the time, ranging from 1 minute to 60 minutes. So these are the outer setting icons. The icons on the inner circle are the cooking presets. There are 8 cooking presets: homemade fries, drumsticks, meat chops, breakfast, muffin, veggies, fish and frozen fries. Before I begin cooking any foods, I like to run the air fryer for at least 20 minutes on the highest temperature. For this air fryer, it's 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Once done, remove the basket and let the air fryer air out. This helps remove any lingering plastic smell instead of keeping it all inside the air fryer. Since the basket is not flat, I will need to use a baking pan if I want to make bread. So let's see what accessories I have that will fit in this basket. First off, my most used pan, the 8-inch round pan, will not fit in, but my 6-inch cake pan will. I have a collection of Instant Pot branded accessories that can come in useful. The egg muffin mold will fit in the basket, although it's not stable because of the uneven base, so I can place it on the tray for better support. I have a silicone egg rack that will also come in handy, so I will try to make some eggs at a later point. Since I don't have anything to fit in my bread rolls, I am going to have to take the risk and place these directly into the basket. I did have to move them around quite a bit to see which position will work best, taking into account space for allowing them to rise. The air fryer doesn't have a bake setting or cooking function. The closest is muffins at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for 18 minutes. So instead I selected the temperature manually, setting it at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for 35 minutes. The bread rolls were looking great and the smell of fresh bread spread throughout the house. After 18 minutes, the tops were beginning to brown and I was sure the underside would still be undercooked because there is no heat flowing to the bottom. So I decided to flip them over and cook them for the remaining time. With 5 minutes still left on the clock, they seemed to be getting too dark, so I took them out. For a lighter color, I would take them out at 25 minutes instead of 30 minutes next time. Place them on the crisper tray to cool down before cutting them open. I made crusty bread rolls, and I will leave the recipes to everything in my description box if you guys would like to check them out. The bread was nice and soft inside and fully cooked. Just take a look at how well this air fryer made them. Very impressive. And they were perfect to go with our chicken drumsticks, which I will make next. I marinated my drumsticks and left them in the fridge overnight, but took them out to bring them to room temperature before adding them to the air fryer, making sure to hang on to my leftover marination because I'm going to use it later. I selected the drumsticks function, which was set at 360 degrees Fahrenheit for 27 minutes, which seemed about right to me. I also remembered to spritz some oil on. Halfway through, I brushed on my leftover marination, flipped over the drumsticks and brushed on more marination before spritzing them with oil and replacing the basket back in. The viewing window is great for checking on foods in the last few minutes, and I could see the drumsticks were looking amazing at this point. I did let them cook to the end of the timer, and take a look at how amazing these drumsticks looked. When I cut into them, they were so tender and juicy, and my marination was delicious. Again, I will leave my recipes in the description box if you would like to see them. 360 degrees Fahrenheit was the perfect temperature, allowing the chicken to cook all the way through, leaving it tender and juicy. I was very impressed with how the chicken turned out. Surprisingly, there wasn't a lot of grease in the tray. Normally there's so much chicken juices left behind. I'm beginning to wonder if the temperature used to cook them prevented the juices running out too quickly and just absorbed them into the chicken instead. Washing the tray by hand was fine, but the basket was annoying because of the swirly design. It just made the cleaning experience more bumpy. I always filter out any bits, wash with hot water and Dawn dish soap, and I'm done. You can also put them in the dishwasher if you prefer. There is no recipe booklet included in the box, but there is an app for recipes. The manual also has a small section on how to make homemade fries. It says to wash and soak the potatoes, then dry them off with a paper towel before seasoning and cooking. I personally don't like to use paper towel because sometimes the fluff comes off it. So instead, I like to cook for 5 minutes to dry them off, then take them out and season them. The homemade fry setting is 32 minutes at 360 degrees Fahrenheit. The basket has a max fill line all the way to the top, but I prefer to add a thin layer. I guess if you have to make a large batch, then you may want to fill it up more. But if you do this, then the cook time will be longer and it will require multiple shakes and turns to the food. There was still 15 minutes left on the clock, and when I went to shake the fries, they were actually ready. I'm guessing the preset time of 33 minutes is for a loaded basket. Anyway, no matter what I do with homemade fries, they are only crispy for the first 5 to 10 minutes and then they turn soft. I've never had any success with my homemade fries retaining their crispiness soon after taking them out. Anyway, if anybody has any tips that they would like to share on how to make homemade crispy fries, please leave them in the comments. The Philips 2000 series air fryer has some impressive features that makes it a useful addition to the kitchen. Its compact and lightweight design is perfect for smaller spaces, and the cord storage and viewing window are a great addition. Even the handle has a nice hole to it. I also like that it has built-in handles underneath so to make it easier to move around your counter. Performance-wise, it cooks evenly and operates quietly. It's much quieter than the Cosori and Ninja air fryers for sure. Although you can't silence the beeps, they are very low and soft compared to others. There are a few areas where it could improve. The display panel feels a bit cluttered, and the small icons can be hard to follow until you get used to them. It probably would have been better to have them spread out across the panel, but I can see they wanted to be different and stay with their standard dial design that they've had in the past. The preset programs focus on specific foods rather than general cooking functions like air fry, bake and broil. This means you may need to experiment or adjust settings manually. I do need to use the thermometer to make sure my food is cooked thoroughly through. The basket design looks nice, but it makes it tricky to cook directly in or clean without extra effort. You may also find yourself needing additional accessories like a baking tray small enough to fit into it. If you don't mind the extra effort, this air fryer is ideal for 1 to 2 people who want a compact, quiet cooking appliance for quick and delicious meals. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found the video useful. I do want to make another video using some of the other settings, like the breakfast setting and perhaps the meat chop setting. So if you do want to watch that, please do go ahead and subscribe. And also, if you are new to my channel, do consider subscribing. Please go ahead and leave a like on this video if you found it useful. If you have any questions or comments, please do leave them below, and I hope to catch you in my next video.